Welcome friends to another video, welcome to another list, this time around 15 designer fragrances for springtime. These are 15 fragrances from my own collection, 15 fragrances that I really like and enjoy wearing. They are representative to the color green, which in my honest opinion best represents spring, the season of nature's rebirth after a long winter. Therefore, let's start with the first one. I won't insist on every single fragrance. The first one comes from the house of Caron, and this is Le Troisième Homme, a very beautiful barbershop type of fragrance. So if you love this type of fragrances, I highly recommend Le Troisième Homme. It smells great and it also performs really great. The house of Caron is a very underrated house in my opinion, and you need to get your nose on their creations because they are also one of the oldest houses in the game, and they have some really great scents. My favorite one is Yuzu Man. So if you love fig and Yuzu Man is the one to go after. The second one comes from the house of D Squared, and this is one of the newest releases from this house. This is called Wood. And if you love woody fragrances, if you love refreshing woody fragrances, this is really nice for springtime. Very versatile, very flexible, long lasting, and also it garners a lot of compliments. You can also wear this one in different scenarios with different clothing. It's a really nice scent even for office. Wood by D Squared. Next one up comes from the house of Cartier, and this is a classic from them. Of course, Declaration. If you love cardamom, this is one of the best that you can find on the market. It's not my favorite fragrance from the house, and even from the line. My favorite one is Declaration Essence, mainly because that one also has orange inside. But nonetheless, Declaration, the OG, is a really great scent. It performs really nice and it smells simply amazing. This is a fragrance that you can wear all year round. No issues with that. Next one up on this list comes from the house of Guy Laroche. This is a classic, and of course, Drakkar Noir. One of the best, if not the best, aromatic fougères from the macho period of perfumery. Really long lasting with amazing projection and also with great sillage. It smells green, it smells energizing, and it simply induces a really nice state of mind every single time that you wear this fragrance. Also, extremely affordable. Next one up, another legend, another classic, which is discontinued and very hard to find nowadays and quite expensive also, from the house of Van Cleef & Arpels, Tsar. This is the best green scent that I ever smelled, and I've smelled hundreds, if not thousands, of fragrances, and still this one manages every single time to impress me with the scent and also with the amazing performance that it has on my skin. Fabulous fragrance. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. Though it's quite expensive nowadays. I've seen it upwards to 600, 700 US dollars on eBay or Amazon, which to be honest with you, I wouldn't pay so much. But it is what it is. I still have half a bottle. My bottle is about 5 years old. So I'm gonna cherish what I have and enjoy it as much as I can. Next one up, and this list comes from the house of Armaf, and of course, Club de Nuit Intense Men EDT. This for me is a perfect fragrance for spring and fall. Also, I've worn this one quite a lot in winter time, and I had no issues with performance. I had no issues with the scent. To me, this is more of a spring and fall fragrance, mainly because the main accord on my skin is birch, and it's really nicely done by the house of Armaf. You also get that fruity undertone, but although this is considered to be Creed Aventus's clone, this isn't a summer fragrance for me. This works better in cooler days. So, Club de Nuit Intense Man, EDT, and this is the newer batch made in France with the black atomizer. Gives me impressive longevity on the skin, great projection, and also a lot of compliments. Next one up, another classic, one of my favorite fragrances. I don't know how many bottles I owned from this fragrance, from the house of Hermes, Terre d'Hermes. Vetiver, orange, also grapefruit. You get some earthy undertones. It's simply flawlessly made. It works amazing. It's good for spring, for summer, for fall. I also worn this one in winter and had no issues. It's very versatile, but I do see it best worn in spring and fall, mainly because in summertime I prefer to wear Eau Très Fraîche. It's flanker. I simply love Eau Très Fraîche in summertime. Therefore, in spring and fall, I'm choosing Terre d'Hermes, the original, the classic one. Next one up on this list, from the house of Dolce Gabbana, not my favorite from the line, not my favorite from the house. My favorite one is actually its flanker called Intenso, but this is Dolce Gabbana Pour Homme. Quite good for spring and fall. It smells really nice, especially if you love tobacco leaves. This one has a pretty good tobacco leaf note inside. I do prefer Intenso mainly because it's better made, higher quality ingredients, and also the performance is amazing compared to this one, to the OG Pour Homme. Nonetheless, this still smells better, smells good, and also has good performance. Pour Homme, Dolce & Gabbana. Next one up on this list, another classic from the house of Lalique, Encre Noir. Another fragrance that you can wear all year round, but I do enjoy wearing it in spring and fall. Also, I do wear it sometimes in winter time. One of those fragrances that will never miss from my collection, mainly because this is one of the best vetivers that you can purchase on the market. Also, it's quite affordable nowadays. It has great performance, but it's very elegant. It's very masculine. It's dark, and also you get a very beautiful inky undertone with this one, which to my nose and on my skin is simply gorgeous. Lalique Encre Noir, one of those fragrances that you must own in your collection. Next one up, still from the house of Lalique. This is the most elegant fragrance from the house of Lalique. Even from the Noir Premier collection, which is their niche lineup. This is Lalique Pour Homme, the stallion head, because you also have the, actually, no, this is the lion head. The stallion head is Lalique Pour Homme Écus. I've chosen this one over Écus mainly because Écus is very aromatic due to the sequoia note found inside. This one is more elegant, is more mature. It's a barbershop type of fragrance with great performance, with great longevity on the skin. Projects good enough. It's not a very loud in your face type of fragrance, but it also has good sillage. A more mature fragrance, but very, very elegant. And actually, this is one of my favorite from this house. I simply recommend it if you're interested in some great barbershop type fragrances. Next one up comes from the house of Paco Rabanne, another classic, Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, another green fragrance with solid performance, projection, and also sillage. It garners a lot of compliments. It's one of those fragrances that are basically a dumb rich when you don't know what to wear. You have some really nice ingredients. You get a bit of sweetness with this one, which makes it a bit contemporary, if you want, compared to other fragrances from the same period. Paco Rabanne from Pour Homme, from where I stand, is one of the greatest fragrances made for men. Next one up from the house of Cartier again. This is one of my favorites from this house. L'Envol de Cartier. The EDT. Because I also owned the EDP, which is more refined. It's, let's say, putting the emphasis on the honey and musk combo. But in this one, in the EDT, you get some really nice green and woody notes, which, to be honest, makes it a bit more masculine compared to the EDP. Also, this one on my skin performs a lot better compared to the EDP. It's also a lot fresher than the EDP, therefore, I do really prefer this one, the EDT, to the EDP. So, if you want a fresher interpretation of L'Envol de Cartier EDP, then go ahead and purchase the EDT because it's simply amazing, especially for spring. Next one up comes from the house of Laura Biagiotti, and this is Roma Woman. Basically, it's a fragrance on the same lines with Cartier, L'Envol de Cartier, also with Lalique pour Homme, and in some respects with Dolce Gabbana pour Homme, without the tobacco inside. Really nice fragrance, good performance, not the greatest, but it's good enough. A very well-known fragrance in the fragrance world, this Roma Woman. One of the best that you can purchase, honestly, and it's quite inexpensive also. Highly recommended. Next one up comes from the house of Ted Lapidus, and this is a discontinued fragrance. This is for the really cold days of spring, when it's raining, when it's, I don't know, freezing, because we're gonna definitely have those type of days, especially here in Romania. And this is a leather wood combination, a fragrance that was discontinued about 3 or 4 years ago. This is very, very hard to find. And I cherish this bottle because I was very lucky in repurchasing this one a couple of months ago. This is Oud Noir from Ted Lapidus. I also own Oud Blanc. That one, it's also quite interesting, but with a big emphasis on peach and wood. This one is the manly out of those two. Here you have wood and leather. And a lot of people are comparing this one with Tom Ford Tuscan leather. I don't know why. To me, they are two different fragrances, but well, you're gonna see a lot of people saying that this one resembles a lot with Tom Ford Tuscan leather. Nonetheless, this on my skin is an amazing fragrance. I usually and easily get 24 hours of longevity with amazing projection and also sillage. This is for those very cold spring days. Also, it's great for winter time, by the way, and also for fall. But if you love wood, if you love leather, that type of leather that you can find in Tom Ford Tuscan leather, or if you want in ombre leather, or if you want another comparison with Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum, then this is it. Oud Noir from Ted Lapidus. And the last one on this list comes from the house of John Varvatos, and it's called Artisan Blue. Yeah, the bottle is blue, the packaging is blue, everything is blue about this fragrance except the scent, which is green. Very green. It's an incredible, an amazing aromatic fougere type of fragrance. It smells really green. You have some green notes inside. You have a lot of musk. You also have a lot of wood. It simply smells great. And curiously enough, because John Varvatos fragrances aren't the greatest when it comes to performance, this one on my skin performs really, really great. This compared to other fragrances that I own from this house, for example, compared to Artisan Pure, if you want, this one stays on my skin double the amount of time. Really nice composition, although it shares a lot of similarities with fragrances from, let's say, the aromatic fougere type. Still, it has something in the composition that makes it a bit different. It makes it stand out from the crowd. Therefore, this is a really nice fragrance. Last year, John Varvatos filed for bankruptcy, so their fragrances out of the sudden started to disappear from the retailers, from the discounters. Therefore, I urge you, if you want to add them to your collection, to do it now, because who knows for how long they will still be available on the market. This one is one of the best from John Varvatos. So if you love the house, if you love the compositions, if you love the work, I highly encourage you to give a try to John Varvatos Artisan Blue. Okay, these are my 15 recommendations for springtime 2021. These are fragrances that I truly enjoy, that I really appreciate. These are fragrances that I recommend to everyone. These are my 15 designer picks. I'm gonna make a different video about niche fragrances or niche picks. I didn't want to put them in one single video because the length of the video would have been too long. Therefore, my 15 designer fragrances for spring are these. I highly recommend them. Give them a try if you haven't already. As always, first, if you want purchasing the full bottle, try to get your hands on samples and to test them properly on your skin. And only afterwards, if you are convinced by the fragrances, go ahead and purchase the full bottle. I'm going to see you in the next one, people. Thank you, as always, for your attention. Be safe, be good. Peace.